Can you see it?
Yes.
All right. Well, so I call my project my AI artistic partner. It's a title in progress. Just a little bit about my background. I'm an artist and a software developer, but not much of a data scientist and very much a newbie in terms of AI and machine learning, but I'm very interested in this. So the idea is to create an AI collaborator that learns from my existing artworks, creates new works inspired by my works. Then I create new works inspired by whatever the AI has created, and then repeat the process every now and then. So I guess that kind of fits under the SAI factory category, momentum of creation, inspiration coming alive. So I do a bunch of things. I do a lot of drawings, I do textiles, but one area of work that I'm interested in for this project is what I call PCB drawings, printed circuit board drawings. So these are circuit boards. They are designed and manufactured as circuit boards, but they're non-functional. They're art objects, stuff that you put on the wall that you display in an exhibition. And here is a screenshot of a lot of them that I've created. I have about 143 so far, and I keep making them. I've been working on this for about 5 years already. They are created with this free program called Eagle CAD. Lots of people use it. And the model in Eagle is an XML model. You can see it here on the left. So, you know, like I'm addressing this, lots of people use AI kind of in a GAN style. You know, they feed a lot of paintings, and then the GAN creates new paintings in that style, or style transfer has been mentioned earlier on. This for me is a natural language processing problem, but instead of using word level, I'm using character level training, mostly because there are lots of numbers in there. So those are gonna be hard to model. So what I did, I took this model in XML and encoded it in what you see on the right. It looks very ugly to a human, but no problem for a computer. So, you know, this is, I took all the models for all the circuit boards that I've created. That was my data set. And then created a simple neural network, 5 levels, 1 embedding layer, 2 bidirectional LSTM layers, 1 attention layer, and 1 dense layer. Honestly, I kind of found models online and I've started to play with them and create this. So if anyone knows of better models for NLP, please let me know. So I've used Keras on top of TensorFlow 2.1, Python. I have a computer with an NVIDIA GTX 2080, trained it. It took about 11 hours. And I was able to get some results. So these are 3D models of circuit boards created by the AI. I can kind of see, you know, knowing my work, I can kind of see where the AI copied a few things and then combine them with things from other circuit boards. And for me, that's kind of exciting, finding new ways, the AI finding new ways of combining existing works or creating some very weird new things. So yeah, I would like to have these manufactured and fabricated. So I have, you know, kind of a few challenges, issues in development. As I said, I'm not sure that the neural network that I've used is too simplistic. I don't have enough experience with NLP models. The generated boards are not always correct or manufacturable. There are certain things there, like especially in the polygons, they are totally messed up. and like as I said, I would like to create boards based on the AI's works. I haven't done that yet. And I was kind of thinking to maybe I should incorporate some other CAD models that are freely available on the web to maybe diversify, maybe not make it look too much like mine, like my previous works. So like a long-term goal is maybe have a 2-person exhibition with my AI partner with these circuit boards. So, yep, this is it. So thank you for listening. And if you have any questions, please let me know.
Thank you so far, TB. We already have a question from Barry.
Okay.
It's actually a comment, Tibby. And since you asked a specific question, I'm going to try and answer it for you. You were talking about your choice of model. Oh, you were talking about your choice of model. Right. And I would suggest for you, instead of an LSTM, try either a generalized adversarial network or GAN from the neural network side. If you're going from the NLP side, either try a seek-to-seek, that's sequence-to-sequence, SEQ, TO-SEQ. It's a TensorFlow. There's a package in TensorFlow for that. Or try a transformer. Those three things. Okay. And might put you on the right track.
Okay, thank you. I mean, just as a comment, I've thought of GANs, but those work on pictures. I need to work on these kind of XML models. So I don't think, I've considered GAN, but it doesn't seem to work in this case. But I'll give it another try or another thought.
Okay, we have Isaac who wants to say something.
I'm a little unclear on why the circuit board as a form, but there's something convincing about the sheer repetition of this. And I like the everyday kind of almost diaristic quality of just the number of them all lined up, which has an impact unto itself. And I'm curious about, in terms of exhibiting these works, how you view their final form in terms of the material and scale. When are they done, and what is the completed form materially as art objects? Also, can they be somehow used even as very glitchy circuit boards, or is that not necessarily the intention?
Okay, so there are a few questions there. So no, I don't, as for, currently I do not envision them as usable, even in a glitchy form. Now, why the circuit board? As I said, I've started making circuit boards as art objects about 5 years ago. My background is as an electronics engineer, as an undergrad. And I saw that circuit boards are actually not used that much in the art world. So I was like, what if I can create circuit boards as art objects, the way that people paint or make drawings or printmaking? For me, circuit boards are actually kind of very close to traditional printmaking. So that was my impetus for that. And well, I kind of work very serially, as in I create lots of works that are very related within certain parameters, like these circuit boards. So that's why I've created a lot of them. And when I saw that I have so many of them, I was like, hey, that's a data set. Maybe I can use it, because AI needs large data sets, or at least that's what I understood. Now, the form that the exhibition would take, and the form that these circuit boards take, these are all manufactured. So they're actually, you can hold them in your hand. They're manufactured using the same process that the circuit boards in your cell phone or computer or anything are manufactured, except that they're non-functional. Generally speaking, I create these circuit boards at 4 inches by 4 inches. That's 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters. mostly because it's pretty cheap to manufacture them at that point. Whenever I have commissions, I can create them much larger. I wrote my own software to enlarge them and scale them and all that. So I've had commissions where, you know, they were about 60 centimeters by 60 centimeters or so. And I plan to go even larger. So for the time being, all the circuit boards that are generated by the AI, remember, these are just computer models of how the circuit board would look like. They are also about 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters.
Thank you. So based on your response, I'm reading this as an Arte Povera kind of project. Since you're working with these materials and they're on hand, you're assembling them. Okay, and I'd be interested to see you continue playing with this scale as well. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, one last question. Michelle, it's your turn.
Hi, thank you for sharing your project. I think it's in a very interesting space, and also your approach is very interesting as well. Building PCB can be as complex as building a city when there's so many layers. I think one thing that it's really appreciative that you're using AI to visualize new possibility in this space where there's usually a lot of physical constraints and resources to build out. PCBs are physical objects, but and then you know the money to prototype these are not very accessible, and I think by doing your project, you actually lower the creative barrier for people who are interested in this space. And your work is potentially inspiring new ideas for how people can approach in building physical objects. So I really like your project. Some guidance would be, who do you want to communicate to? Because whether this is for a technical audience or if it's an art gallery exhibit, what message do you want to communicate to others to inspire? Something to think about as you continue on your project. I think that bit is unclear at the moment. Yeah, thanks for sharing your project.
All right, yeah, thank you. Yeah.
All right, I don't see any more hands or comments, so thank you again, and we'll